Photography 1 and 2. I am going to be absent from today's class. You have a sub today, but this is basically me teaching you your lesson today in this video. So no fear, I am fine. My son is fine. He just has a doctor's appointment this morning that we have to go to. So I will see you on Thursday. So I'm kind of bummed to miss this day. I'm really bummed actually, because this is the day that I was going to introduce your final semester project. So I'm introducing it to you via video, and I will be available to you today. If you have any pressing questions, you can email me. I think his appointment is probably going to be done around 9:30, 10. So just shoot me an email. I will respond to you today. And you can also come to office hours today if you have any extra questions. I have to introduce it today because we are on kind of a tight timeline to finish this project before the end of the semester. So we're going to just go for it, okay? So go ahead and open your week 15 folder, and you're going to click on Monday and go into Learn, do your attendance check-in. Just watch this video on your own, and you can post a comment. This is a really funny video. My apologies for the painters, the abstract painters that are smoking in the video. This is the 50s and 60s, so all of these guys usually had a cigarette in their hand at the time. But it is a funny little, actually a bunch of clips spliced together. Someone did of a larger documentary video about abstract artists and painters, and mostly painters, but it is kind of funny. So go ahead and watch that and make a comment, and that is your check-in attendance for the morning. All right, so reminder for your final, we're going to go over the whole assignment today. I just want you to listen, okay? Just listen. And don't panic. There's a lot of information I'm going to give you. And if you don't understand it right away, I am going to explain it, and we're going to get through this, and it's going to be really interesting and fun. So please don't panic, okay? Just listen and try to accomplish today's task, and I will be there to answer questions. And this right here, reminder of your compositional devices. This is going to be really important to you. You're going to have to choose 2 of these today to start your project. So let's click on this and get in here. I want you to open it up and follow along with the sub and as you're listening. All right, so this is your semester final project. You do not have a test in this class. We're just doing this final semester project. This is for both digital photography 1 and 2. DP2, you will also have to turn in a portfolio of your edited passion project, but we'll talk about that later. All right, so the entire project is due on the day of the final by the end of the period. But I am introducing it in stages, and you will have separate due dates for the stages. Stage 1 is due this Thursday by the end of class, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But what is this project? What is the objective of this project? Well, it's really twofold. First objective is to tell the story of your experiences this year. This can be open-ended, and you can choose to focus on whatever aspects of this year that are most interesting to you or most prominent in your life. So it's something that exists very strongly in your life. So here's some examples of themes that you could choose to focus on. Your home life during distance regulations, family, your hobbies, your schoolwork, your friends, social distancing, the concept of that, how that feels. Nature, maybe you escape into nature to deal with that. Art making, you could make up your own themes. Like if you have your own focus right now and you really want to tell a story about that, that is totally okay. This is open-ended, and it is up to you as long as you're talking about your experiences this year. And your final assignment, you're going to be telling a story. It's called a photo essay. So you're going to be turning a series of photos that tell a story based on one of these themes. But we're going to explore first, and then we're going to narrow for the final thing. So just start thinking about these things. And then the second part of this objective of this assignment is through some staged assignments, learning how to tell this story using abstract photography. So we're going to be using the techniques that we've learned over the past 2 weeks and the compositional devices that we explored last week or the week before Thanksgiving. So here's the format of your final assignment. The final submission will be content that your teachers will jury and enter into an exhibition website. This is a juried exhibition, so not all submissions will be in the exhibition. So your teachers will come together as a professional panel, and we will review everybody's submissions, and we will choose a certain amount of work that will go into the final exhibition. So you can think of it as a competition, and the highest quality submissions will be exhibited. And your final submission will be in the form of a Google form, right? So you're going to submit it in a Google form that we give you. You're going to submit an artist statement, a virtual entry, we'll talk about what that means, and photographs that will make up your website page. Ms. Greninger will plug your information into the website page, and this is going to be our virtual platform for our reception and our big exhibit in the winter. So like end of January is when we're going to have this show. And the opening reception will be a Zoom event with you and your family, and we're going to come and explore this website. And on this website, everybody that is in the show is going to have their own page, and you're going to have certain things that you're going to have on your page. I'm Miss Greninger's digital photography, ceramics 1 and 2. You guys are going to be in the show. Mr. Vetter's drawing class is going to, I think drawing 1 is going to be in the show, and Mr. Landry's 2D design class is going to be in the show. So it's going to be pretty big. Okay, so here are the components of your final submission in the Google form. Don't do these ahead of time, right? We're going to step through the stages with separate due dates, and all of them will have demonstrations and objectives. So don't jump ahead and do these things. So what are you submitting for your final? You're going to have to submit. I want you to choose either creating a virtual gallery like we did for Neo-Surrealism, if you saw that show, and Mr. Landry's created a tutorial on how to use that virtual gallery website, or a video. And the video can be looping if you want. It's probably a good idea that it's looping so people can watch it over and over. One image that represents your body of work that's going to be used as the thumbnail on the main website, and then also the banner on your page. The banner is a photo that is at the very top of your page. 4 process images. These will be associated with the assignment stages. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then 3 final images that are part of a series. So we're going to discuss this later, or photo essay. And then a limited word artist statement that's going to be at the top of your web page. Your work has to represent or tell a story of your experiences this year. There's going to be a very specific formats and sizes for submitting your video or your virtual gallery and your pictures. So we have to make sure when we go through that we do that so that we can upload them onto the website easily. All right, so there's 4 stages to this final. The first stage is due on Thursday, which is why I had to introduce it today. This stage is meant to explore using the compositional devices that we learned about before break and abstract photography techniques that we also were exploring before break. I want you to refer to those lectures and assignments for details and remind yourself of the compositional devices and the techniques that we've explored, because I'm going to ask you to use them all. The second stage is going to be due on Wednesday, December 9th. This stage is meant to set up an exploration series of experiments that will be part of your final submission and help you focus into a series of final photos that will be in your main project. So we're going to talk about stage 1 today. Stage 3 is due on Monday, December 14th. This is the first day of that prep week. So this is the very last thing I'm going to assign, but it is part of your finals. So you should be working on finals during prep week. Submit your 1 interactive element. So that's either your virtual gallery or your video. Submit a draft of your artist statement, and this will be critiqued and returned for a final version due on the day of the final. And then stage 4 is the final submission using the Google form. This is due by the end of the final period, the day of your final. And there will not be any extensions to this unless there's extenuating circumstances. In this stage, you will take what you learned and narrowed from stages 1 through 3 and turn it into a specific series with the final submission of 3 images and your final artist statement. This, like I said, this is due at the end of the period, the day of your final, and will complete your semester final. All right, so below here is what we're going to be working on today. So I'm going to jump out of this document and into the due folder for today. So here's Monday. We're going to go to the due folder, and this is what's due today. So stage 1 is due Thursday, but there's a component of stage 1 that is due today that I want you to work on in class. All right, so this is the first stage of your assignment. It's really meant to explore using the compositional devices and abstract photography techniques we have learned using themes around your experiences. So compositional devices, I want you to click on this link, and we learned about these, and we also did an assignment around these before break. So you might want to go through and remind yourself of these things. And then at the very end of the lecture, there is a list to the compositional devices. So remind yourself, choose 2 that you're going to work with, and then go back and maybe look at the slides and remind yourself of what they mean and how you're going to sort of focus on them. And then you're going to, for each compositional device that you choose, you're going to take 10 photos using each abstract photography technique that we learned in the last couple weeks. So you're going to use your slow camera app or your slow shutter speeds if you have a DSLR camera, painted light, double exposure. Remember, we use Snapseed to do the double exposure, or you could use Photo-P if you have Photo-P that's functional on your computer. Shallow depth of field. Remember, that's if you're going to focus on this one, if you have your portrait mode on your iPhone, maybe Android has some version of this. And also shallow depth of field for your DSLR camera is when you use a really, really low f-stop. So an example of that would be 5.6. Movement, so moving your camera as you're shooting. And then studio lighting techniques with colored lights and abstract forms. So kind of like the work of Jaroslav Rossler and Barbara Kasten that we studied earlier. Okay, so the objective of this final project is twofold. This is just a reminder of what we've already gone over, right? You're going to choose a theme. So home life, family, hobbies, school, friends, social distance, nature, art making, etc., or your own theme. And then through these staged assignments, you're going to tell a story. So that is, just keep that kind of in your mind, because that is what's floating in your mind as you're working on all this stuff. Okay, so this assignment is a little bit complicated, so just keep listening and ask me questions if you have them. You're going to choose 2 compositional devices. So go up here, like I said, click on this lecture, choose 2 that you think are most interesting, and also choose them based on your theme, right? If your theme for one of them is family, you might want to choose a device that has to do maybe with how you want to tell the story of your family. Maybe you could choose something really interesting like dynamic movement, the movements of your household, something like that. So connect your theme with your device. Okay, don't be arbitrary about it. Really think about how they're connected. Okay, so you're going to choose a device and a theme. And then within that device and theme, you're going to go through all of your abstract photography techniques and take 10 pictures per technique using that theme and that device. Okay, so that is the description of what you're going to be doing. This is how I want you to organize your thoughts and all this work. And this is what's due today, are your folders. All right, so today you're going to submit the link for all of these folders. The photos are due on Thursday, December 3rd, which is this Thursday. Work on it during class, and also I'm giving you Wednesday to work on it as well. Please do not wait until the last minute to do this. This will take you hours. This will take you some time this week. This is a huge chunk of your final. Once you accomplish this, you will have a lot more time and freedom to narrow. So let's click on this link. This is what I want your folders to look like. Your first folder is called your last name and then Rules of Abstraction Digital Photography. So just put it into a folder that's called that. Within that folder, you should have a folder that says Stage 1. Okay, that is what's due on Thursday. Within that folder, I want you to have 2 folders. These are your themes and your compositional devices. So this one, the theme is home life during distance regulations, and the device I chose is asymmetrical balance. This one has to have a different theme and a different device. The theme is social distance, and the device is confined space. Okay, and then within that folder, you're going to have all of your abstract photography techniques in different folders. And then within those folders, you're going to put 10 images that has the theme of home life during distance regulations using asymmetrical balance, double exposure. 10 images. Okay, and then the same thing. You're going to use theme is distance regulations, home life, compositional device, asymmetrical balance, movement. 10 images. Okay, and 10 images per folder. So this is a lot. This is 10 images times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 60 pictures. And there's 2 folders. So that's 120 pictures by Thursday. Very focused photos. So it's going to take you some focus and some time to do this. But what is due today? What is due today is a link to this main folder. So how do I get a link to this main folder? So this is one of the pitfalls of sharing folders. Sometimes we're on a folder and we think, oh, I'm going to share this folder. And I go to the arrow and I go down to share. Well, I've clicked on only the stages folder. So I will only be sharing that. So you have to go back to your original folder, which is the one with your name and rules of abstraction, and click on the arrow and go to share. And you want to change it down here to anyone on the internet with this link can view. Change it to that so that I can see it, so that you don't even have to bother putting my name in here. Okay, and then you copy the link and then you go back to this, and I want you to just put the link in the discussion board. Okay, the best way to do that is to make it a link, and you can just maybe put your name here. This is my example, and then put the link there, attach, and post. I think you have to type something here as well to post. Okay, so if you do that, then I can click on your link. If you just copy the link in here and post it, it's not a clickable link for me. So don't do it that way. That way drives me crazy, because then I have to copy it and put it in its own URL. It's a whole other thing. So do not do it that way. Okay, let's review one more time how to do this one. You go up here and you click on the link and you title it your last name, and you put the link in there and attach, and then you have to type something, and then you post. And that way the link is in your name there, and all I have to do is click on it. Okay, so that is what you're submitting today. The link to your folders. Your folders do not need to be full of photos yet. That is what you're going to be working on this week, including Wednesday. So let's take a quick look at the folders for this week. So Wednesday, post 1 full folder of abstract photography techniques from stage 1. So there is a WIP, and that is your Wednesday. The intention of this is that you're working on it, right? But remember, it is due by the end of class on Thursday. And this is a lot of photos and a lot of focus. So please, in your spare time this week, I would really be working on this. All right, and then of course, before you check out today, you want to do your checkout, attendance checkout, which is post 1 of each and write a statement about the similarities between each. So find an abstract painting, an abstract drawing, photograph, sculpture, and post each one. Okay, so this is my painting by Helen Frankenthaler. This is my drawing by Joan Mitchell. This is my sculpture by Jackie Rankin. And this is my, this is my photograph by Jackie Rankin. And this is my sculpture by Eva Hess. And then I'm going to make a statement about how they are similar. So here's my example. Here is my example. I see an undertone of muted colors in most of them with lines of bright colors on top. Okay, that's as simple as that. Just a statement about how they are all similar. Okay? All right, you guys, I know that was really long, but this is the introduction to your semester final, very important. Like I said, if you have questions, email me right away. I will answer them this morning. I promise. As soon as I get home, I will check my email. And I will also be at office hours on Monday. All right, let's do this. Thank you.